Продолжаем.
Today the patrols will be doubled. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood? Yes, sir.
Yes?
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, no, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a sermon.
I was going to, but to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you, but I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
You might be right, my lady. I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands. I met my friends right next to the Skalitz Ale House. When we heard Deutsch praising Sigismund, our blood boiled. My mates decided to teach that fool to mind his tongue, so, thanks to us, Deutsch had to scrape horse shit off his newly whitewashed house.
How foul.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home.
Мне
I
этого
promised
здесь надо
Father I'd
будет
help
не
him with his work, and
рассказывать.
I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig. I'd been secretly... There's a big difference.
You're full of surprises.
Ага.
But Sigismund's... A horde of soldiers was amassed.
How awful.
I looked...
Ясно.
Then I...
Like,
Да давай ты уже.
That's terrible.
Придется все заново. Первый пропустили.
Henry.
Да давай ты уже быстрее. Чё, все? А, 9:23. Отлично.
scrolls will be doubled. Keep
Так,
your
это
eyes
уже
peeled.
было.
If you
You might be right, my lady. It was terrible and unexpected. I went to the tavern to buy ale for father. I know it's a job for a groom, but I didn't mind, because my girl Bianca worked there. I courted her a while and we agreed to meet in the evening, but our meeting was never to happen.
Oh, dear boy.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised father I'd help him with his work and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig. The sword was taking shape when Sir Radzig himself came to have a look at it.
You don't say.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town. A horde,
How awful.
and then Father told me to take shelter in the castle while he went to get Mother. She was stranded in the town, surrounded by Sigismund's butch. And then I saw him knocking down one human after another. I never saw him fight. But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armour, saw cut down my father without a thought. And then he turned on my mother.
You poor boy. May the Lord have mercy on their soul.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Tальмберг and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle. I needed a horse to get to the safety of Tальмберg and to warn you all.
And with all that was happening, you thought of others like a good Christian.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her. I had Sir Radzig's sword, and even though there were several of them and they were better armed, I had to try and save her. I wanted there to be at least one person I'd helped. And I succeeded, even though it almost cost me my life. After that, I stole a horse from them and rode off.
Like a valiant knight.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
You poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride.
Ну
You
да,
must
ну
not
да.
lose faith, whatever life brings.
Люди, которые это делают, не виноваты.
Has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors you went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Tальмберг, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then, he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years. And was Harville punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
Sir Divish seems like a good, strong man.
Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Tальмберg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
My lady, you're still young and beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Would that that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep. I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless.
Good night, my lady.
За дверью сразу такой крендель сидел, слушал. Кошмары, кошмары.
Move it, people! Come on! Come on! We're running out of time! Quickly! We have to close the gates! You can't go back!
Henry, help us!
Help us, son. Don't be a coward.
Я так
wake
помню,
up!
нужно будет...
You don't want to miss this.
What is it? What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Я так понял, нам нужно будет вернуться, чтобы их похоронить, если память не изменяет. Что там нам нужно? Факел взять. Дождина такой хлещет. Так, куда нам идти? Может быть, пока попробуем вскрыть все. шум. Ага, 4 обаяния. А здесь 4 обаяния без шума. Возьмем. Что за клякса? Вот я так и не понял. С 47 есть такой. Защита 98, а у нас... А у нас его нет. Не будем брать, не нужен он нам. Надо бухнуть. Алкоголь 30, 13. Значит, вино. Да елки-палки. А ну-ка сохранимся. Ай. Да. Нет. Нас сбухло. Значит, будем это делать днем уже. Из орешника, из ясеня. Киношку начинаем.
Listen up. You can Sigismund and his army.
What's going on?
Prepare for the worst. But don't be daunted
I don't
by
know.
the numbers.
It doesn't
Use
make
my command.
sense. Why would
All will
Sigismund
get well.
advance on Tальмберг in the night? Especially since he's lost the element of surprise after the raid on Skalitz.
Maybe it's not him.
Then who is it?